Flex Luther, Morgan's nigga room. So much soul, about to bust out the room. All different flavors, way more than 32. From these shoes, you can't mess with these dudes. Nike Reeboks, about to sock the knees. Golden Gooses on dude.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Soul Brothers, hosted by yours truly, Flex Luther, and none other than Morgan Sneaker Room. Today, guys, we are blessed with a guest, Sneaker Fetish. What's up? What's new? And how you feeling, my guy?
Brother, I appreciate you having me on, man. It feels good to be back.
Yes. Episode 50, you know we had to do it big. Episode 50, we are here. We are here to stay, guys. Consistency.
So, one of our best clips came from your episode, your first episode.
Early birds will always be stuck in
The early bird. Some of them early birds.
I got
Did you
blocked
really?
for that.
Really?
So, yeah, so
he blocked me.
I gotta know, like, is that the only backlash you got from that video? Was that the only backlash you received?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
I gotta check and see if we're blocked, because if they blocked you, they probably blocked us.
I hope I didn't block y'all, man. He's had smoke with me for a long time, though. But yeah, eventually, because it's funny. It's funny. Let me tell you, Ian actually followed me, and then him and I like talked back and forth because it was when we were talking about I forget, we were going back and forth about something, and he had jumped into a Twitter space we were doing too. So like we were had a whole dialogue about a bunch of stuff, and then he followed me, and then I guess he realized I like him following me, just like, oh my, follow me. Like I was trying to what I said, and so then he blocked me. So I'm like, damn, bro, how you gonna go from follow me to unfollow me and blocking me within like 12 hours? But yeah, he blocked me. But I love the clip. So
that's a great clip.
I love it too.
I was in my editing bag. I'm not gonna lie. I was in my editing bag on that one.
That's fair.
There's so many gems in that in that one clip. But how we always start, man. What do we wear today, or what do we plan to wear today? Flex, you going first?
Absolutely. I'm back on my minted New York Saucony Pro Grid Triumph 4. Again, love this pair. Getting a lot of wears in this pair. I throw these on and
it look good.
Yeah,
they stay for some reason. They stay like pristine. Like they stay. Yeah. Do they for you?
I mean, yeah, I got some traction on them. I can see.
I'm not gonna front. That's a pair you can throw in a white pillowcase, throw them in the washing machine, and call it a day. You know what I mean? Like
yeah. Which I'm not. That's why I'm not too. You know, I know really the only thing I really got to put a brush to is this midsole right here.
That looks good.
Yeah.
That looks really good though.
Super dope.
Good piece. What about you, Morgan?
I also wore a mesh runner. The out of office A6 Concepts out of office. I got early access. Yeah, these are super nice. I got early access to these, and I went ahead and copped them.
Great pair.
Yeah, really clean. I wore them mostly today because it is a real winter day. We haven't had not even a winter day. It's like there was snow on the ground today, and we had 80s all the way through October. So so I needed this this tropical colorway on my feet today. They definitely need some. They don't even need a scrubbing for it. They just need a thumb and some spit, and we're good.
There it is.
What you mean?
Bro just licked his finger and put it on the shoe.
He said, "We good."
Hey, for real, it's just a couple little spots, bro. A couple little spots.
You gonna be a great dad. I ain't seen that since I was a kid.
Is that not normal?
Hit him with the, and then on the face.
Yeah.
Keep the sneakers like kids. I love it.
Yeah, this is good.
I see them joints in the background too, Morgan. I see them. Don't think I don't.
Yeah, we will talk about them later. We're gonna talk about them later.
I see them back there. Cool though.
What do you wear today?
Man, so I'm just getting my life together. As y'all are seeing, y'all are getting first look of my new space. So I just moved like 2 days ago. So all of my stuff is all in boxes. I actually have boxes right next to this computer I'm on. But actually, what's actually on foot, I'm not going to cap, what's actually on foot today is the John Geiger slide. Shout out to my man, John Geiger. That's actually on foot. But today, when I go out, though, I'm probably going to I threw the crew neck on. Shout out to my man, Joe. I'm probably going to do the 993 performance art. His 993. So I love that shoe.
Yeah.
Pink pair. The pink pair.
The pink pair.
So,
that's the only pair I have. It's a great pair. I still need the sage in the blue.
Yeah, for sure.
So you've got a relationship with John Geiger, like you know him?
That's my guy, man. John Geiger. John and I have actually been cool for a long time. Like a lot of my relationships in sneakers, I tend to not like publicize them just because I never want to be like a douchebag that's like, oh, look, I'm cool with them. I got their number. I talk to them. I voice memo these people. But like, yeah, man, me and John have been cool, like, because when I had the misplaced checks way back in 2015. Like, so John, I've known his work for a long time, but like we started getting cool probably like around. So like I was a really big proponent of his work and he was doing, and you know, when shit kind of hit the fan when it came to Nike, and he saw like how vocal I was like in my support for what he was doing. That's when he started taking notice and was like, yo, man, like, thank you for that. Like, I really appreciate that. And he like started, you know, sending me a little, you know, product here and there to show his thanks for that and stuff. So it was a loyalty thing really with John. And that's how we got cool. I was like, I see your vision. I see what you're doing as an artist, you know, and I rock with it. And yeah, so yeah, John and I, we definitely have, you know, a relationship. Like that's definitely my guy. So if he needs something from me, you know, like he's probably gonna get it, whatever it is that he needs from me. That's my guy.
Yeah. I like his work. He had those high top joints, the 01 or something like that. Was that what did they call them?
Yeah, the 01, yeah, that was the 001, that was his high top joint. His 002 was also a high top joint, but that was like in the sock sneaker phase when Balenciaga was doing it. So that was like his sock joint.
The 002, that's the one I went through a time when I was like, yo, I need a pair. I never ended up getting a pair. But yeah, that's what I knew. Yeah. That's what I really knew John Geiger from. And then of course with the whole Nike situation, I'm not even gonna speak on Nike, man, because I don't even want those problems. I don't want those problems.
Man. Listen, you already know. But you know, but he was cool though. He came through it. He came through it clean, man, and he was able to continue on. A lot of people did not get that. A lot of people, they had to shut down shop, you know, but John didn't. So shout out to him, you know.
Yeah,
for real.
Shout out, Cool Kai.
Shout out to Kai. Yo, you know what's funny? You know what's funny about Kai, man? Because Kai and I have spoken to, and him and I actually developed a small relationship out of everything too, man. So on record, because he always says I don't say these things on record. On record, shout to Kai. Shout to the work he's doing. He's very creative, very talented, great with colors. Excited to see what he's got cooking up next, man. So shout to my guy. Shout to Kai.
Yeah, we're cutting that out of the episode. Just I'm kidding.
Well, I tried.
No. We definitely gonna have to knock. I've been a Cool Kai since he started.
Yeah, you have been.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But it was more of just like, you know, how people kind of like blackballing him, and I'm just like, well, he's doing what everybody else is doing, so what's the issue? But I also was a fan of what he did, like when he would do the giveaways, or he'd give people a chance to design a pair, or you know, stuff like that. I mean, but I also heard some horror stories too. But you know, we just gonna keep it positive. So so, Kyrie, I know you talked about your long relationships that you had with people, which is something that I wanna talk about. So I wasn't familiar with, you know, your content early 2010s. I think I've been doing this 4 years, and I think I want to quit maybe 12 out of those 4 years. So I just want to know, like, what kept you? All right, I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm just gonna keep on, you know, till I'm seen, till people really recognize me, understand my value.
Yeah, absolutely. Nah, man. Incremental goals. You know, that was a big thing for me, man. Was and realistic incremental goals, because a lot of people out here are not realistic, man. Like, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm on the Soul Brothers today. I'm gonna keep it real. Like, a lot of people out there, and y'all listening to this, are not setting realistic goals for yourselves. Y'all are making 2 videos and you're ready for a brand deal. You're not. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Like, you know, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, man, but I tell people all the time, bro. I made videos for 6 years straight before I got a check or any look from any brand. And people it just goes in one ear and it goes right out the other. People like, yeah, man, I hear you, but no, like, y'all gotta listen. You gotta master your craft. You gotta hone your skills, you know. And so in doing that, they have this rule on YouTube, because everybody knows this is where I came from. Like, on YouTube, 1% better every day, 1% better every video, right? And it's like you have to set these small incremental goals for yourself. So for me, it was 100 views. That was my thing. I was like, okay, I want to hit 100 views on a video. Because when I started out, like, and also, I'm gonna tell you, hitting those incremental goals has a lot to also do with being very realistic about the world that you're in, right? So, like, I tell people, a lot of people, they want to come out and they want to be something so totally different and so left from what they're doing. They don't realize that they're isolating themselves, right? Like, I tell people, in this social media world, you got to be part of a growth machine, and then you have to infuse something different that's a part of that growth machine, but you got to be a part of the machine. So for me on YouTube, right, that was my first thing. It was, okay, can I hit 100 views? Can I hit 500 views? Can I hit 1,000 views? And just, you know, continuing to do that. And also being passionate about the product, right? Which I think is why you're here. It's Morgan. It's why y'all are here, because regardless of when the numbers fluctuate, because the numbers are going to fluctuate forever, you guys are really passionate about the things you talk about, be it sneakers, wrestling, tennis, whatever, right? So, like, because you're passionate about it, this is something that you do on a daily basis anyway. I talk shoes and I talk community stuff. I do it anyway. So it's like, okay, if this doesn't pop off, I still got to have a dope ass conversation that I wanted to have anyway. So it's like, you know, that's still a win. But, like, you know, getting back to the content, yeah. So it was small goal. And so I'm gonna tell you what the moment was for me. I was like, okay, I'm doing these things, but I'm not really getting seen out here. I'm trying to figure this thing out. And I realized that I was like, okay, what is something I could do that I know that people are already searching for that doesn't have anything to do with me? Something that people are just searching for, right? And I did an early review on the Space Jam 11. I think, what year? Y'all remember what year the last Space Jam dropped? Was it 2016?
2016, yep.
2016 Space Jam. So that year they did the fly ass, they did the box with the whole deal, the Bugs Bunny box. So I got an early pair of those, paid a grip, got the early pair, and that was my first video that really popped off and got like over like 10,000 something views. And I was like, oh, okay. So the problem isn't me. The problem is the content and me being a part of the growth machine, right? And so when people came and they saw what I was doing, then they were staying because they were like, oh, who is this guy? Oh, he's cool. Oh, he's different. Okay. And then they were staying. So that's really what kept me kind of grounded, was being very realistic about what the people want that I'm creating for, right? And also being very realistic about where I am as well. So yeah, I'll probably say it was probably a mixture of those two things, you know, that kind of kept me going. Yeah.
I think we're finding that it's tough on TikTok because the TikTok sneaker space is kind of dead. Because you can't really, part of it I believe is you can't really sell a limited sneaker on the TikTok shop. So videos about sneakers aren't being pushed. And those of us who are putting sneaker content out there, the content, I mean, if we look at Twitter and we look at Instagram, I feel like there are more ingrained sneakerheads in those spaces, where I feel like on TikTok, it's a lot of people who are just kind of, they're learning about it now, and we're getting track of their journey as they go, whether it's because they, you know, they were a part of the COVID boom, or they spent some time locked up for 20 years, and when they came out, they wanted to start talking about sneakers. Like, this is
no shade.
Oh my god!
Well, I don't know what y'all talking about.
Finish your thought. Finish your thought, Morgan.
What are we doing? Yes.
Finish your thought.
So whatever the reason is, I just don't feel like we have authorities and sneakers on TikTok. So the question becomes, do we move platforms and build a whole new following there with some of the old following, or do we just try to build it on TikTok?
Great question. I mean, is that a question for me, or is that more so just like for the sake of, the dollar, just an internal question you guys ask yourself?
Well, now it's a question for you since you asked that.
I mean, walking into that, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
No, that is.
So the thing about TikTok, and this is what I've learned, because I've talked to a lot of like the brands about TikTok. So first thing that you guys know, whatever you feel about TikTok, the brands look at TikTok as the least, like it holds the least weight when it comes to your social media metrics, just so you know. It goes Instagram, maybe YouTube, but Instagram is king when it comes to marketability and branding, and really connect with people, because TikTok is extremely passive, right? But people don't engage on TikTok nearly as much as they do on Instagram. So brands really hone Instagram. Then they hone YouTube. Then they hone in on Twitter for dialogue, because it's just really hard to do like promotion that has to do with visual things like sneakers on something like Twitter, because Twitter is really just dialogue. But Instagram is, and then like TikTok is like the bottom of the stack. But for you guys, one thing that I noticed about TikTok, though, it's extremely hard to niche down on TikTok in saying that the general isn't a thing. You're always going to be limited. Your video, you may have one that pops off every now and again, but by and large, when you think, you go from thousands to hundreds of thousands to millions of views, and the people who get that, you have to go broader and broader and broader. So now, instead of making a sneaker video, now you do maybe a joke that's trending and you incorporate the shoe, but the shoe isn't the focal of the content, right? Yeah. The shoe is a character at that point, but it's not a piece, right? So you're doing something that connects with a lot of people, but you're just incorporating shoes because y'all are the sneaker guys, you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's your brand. But yeah, so that's my thing. It's like, so if you were to continue on TikTok, I hate to say this because you guys may find it cheesy, but it's like I would hone in more on what's trending, and then how do we incorporate the trends within the sneaker world without making sneaker reviews on TikTok that's dead. Like, dead. You know what I'm saying?
That's all I did. I built my whole brand on that, man, and dead.
Yeah. Like people they're not checking for it. I mean, by and large, a lot of sneaker reviews, people are just not checking for these days. And so, you have to, again, the growth machine, right? Where's the growth machine on TikTok? And how do you join the growth machine, right? This thing it's moving. And what you want to do is find a way to just jump in to what's already moving. Instead of trying to be out here and this is the growth machine over here and you're over here doing sneakers. And it's tough because it's a much slower grind. You want to jump into whatever's popping off and then just, incorporate those shoes with it. I think it's success.
I started trying to do some not really get readies with me, because I feel like there are too many people in their draws in those videos. But just how I style the sneakers, I did that for a while. After I did my my 365 days of sneakers, I started doing okay, this is how I'm gonna style them. But I feel like that would be better suited for Instagram, doing videos like that, making reels.
My fault is that I do a lot of dedicated sneaker reviews, but I don't do any fun stuff. I don't do anything that's fun on Instagram, and so I need to do those fun sneaker centric type things. And I'll probably see even more, connection. I have a lot of deep connection, when it comes to storytelling, But then how do you get the followers, right? The followers come in, they're scrolling and they're watching stuff for the next 10 seconds. And it's funny. Oh, I like it. And they hit follow. That's how you get the followers. So again, being part of the growth machine gets you the followers. And then you put the pill in the applesauce, and that's how you get the engagement.
Yeah, pill in the applesauce.
That's why I call it the pill in the applesauce.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, I noticed that with TikTok, I feel like that's where those unrealistic goals are coming from, because with TikTok, man, you could post a video and you're viral the next day, literally. Like, you can post a video and it don't matter what you done 6 years ago. It's really just like that. And that's one of the reasons why I hopped on, was because I was like, they're just showing the shoes and they're getting 500 million views. So I'm like, I don't want to show my face. So for like my first 30 or 40 videos, I didn't show my shoes. I mean, I didn't even show my face. I was just like me, just my phone at my shoes and transition out, transition in. Yep. And I got a ton of followers off that. Like, I got at least 25,000 followers just off that. And then I noticed that, like you said, the growth machine, I noticed that like a lot of people start swiping away from just shoe videos. They like to see a face and connect it with the collection. So then that's when I really start putting my face within it. And that's when the whole Morgan and that back and forth, that's when all those things were created. But in the beginning, it was just my shoes, literally. It was just my shoes. And I feel like a lot of people feel like you can just do that with anything, any social platform. Like, oh, I can just put this on here and it's going to go viral. Or, because I think I was on TikTok maybe 4 months before eBay reached out to me. And like, hey, we'll send you. We're gonna give you $500 credit. Buy anything you want on our site. Just say you bought it from us. Yeah, and that's not how it is every day. You know, that's not, once you really start making content, you realize it's not just like, oh, here you go. We're gonna do this with you. It's not like that. I just had a lot of traction at that time. I was, having the viral video, and it was like, let's capitalize on this, pretty much. That's how they did. But shout out to eBay, they gave me that $500. But
they be looking out. Shout out to you. You ain't got that. Yeah. You ain't got what, the money yet, or the deal
bro,
yet?
I haven't got the deal yet. If I had $500, bro, from eBay, that's about 10 low balls, bro. 10 low balls. I would stretch that.
Yeah,
so I disappeared out of it. Hey, I disappeared for a second, man. I just got the Kith early access to the Batman.
Batman? I knew.
Yeah. That's
bro. I had to go cop. Just make sure I got it. One of the T's, bro.
Hey,
all right, my bad about that.
No,
nah. I respect that.
You good?
I respect that. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
Did y'all notice? Could y'all tell that
you went dip for a second, but you cool, you good. Flex held you down. Yeah. Held you down.
Hey man, that's the talent. That's the talent, man. I'm just a coach, man.
Hey man, y'all tag team.
Tell me when to show up.
Y'all tag.
I'm thinking like we got so somebody hit us up today and was talking about like, oh, Lemon 8 is the new TikTok, and
what is that?
It's called Lemon. It's a video platform, and I checked it out, and I'm not even trying to crack a joke right now. I'm not even trying to crack a joke, but like I think the reality is, like, with the TikTok potentially going away next year, do we find the new TikTok, or do we just like use what's already out there? I'm thinking just going to Instagram, just taking my talents to IG. I tried Twitter, man. I actually, I don't know if you remember, I was in a Twitter space. With you, and I remember he said something I agreed with, and then you were like, "Oh, Morgan's in here. Let's see what he gets from a TikTok perspective." No, I'm not.
They tried to pack you up, man. I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened.
I was not trying to. I was not trying to get on there and talk about the TikTok perspective on Twitter, where I get eaten alive, bro. You're trying to throw me to the piranhas.
No, man. I really wanted people to listen to you, man, because like Twitter, the thing about Twitter is it's the epicenter. It is the mecca of sneaker information and dialogue every day. Like that, like when you're looking at real time dialogue, it's not Instagram, but it's Twitter. But the problem is that Twitter can also get tunnel vision, and they can really look at things through a very narrow lens. Like the world of Twitter is the only world that exists when it comes to sneakers, and it's not. So that's why I did want you guys to give a perspective, because TikTok is a different universe. Instagram in its own way is different. YouTube is different, so there's all these different branches, on that tree. And so I really did want you to, to give, your insight on the TikTok platform. But damn, man, they was just like, nah, who is this guy? And I'm like, damn, man, what y'all got? You gotta let my man Morgan in, man. Relax. So
I wasn't even trying to get in. No, you're good. Like, I wasn't trying to get in there. I was like, when you said my name, I dipped. I said, "Oh no, oh no!"
I'm gonna exit the space, and he said, "Nah, I ain't even gonna."
Oh no!
He's like, never mind.
Nah, I respect that. I respect that.
Yeah, I wanted to defer to the smart people, man. You and Key, me. I like to talk. I like to talk trash and give my opinion on things.
It's still a struggle for us out here too, man. I say all the time. We can get into this, but we talk about communities. I mean, Key, shout to Key, man. Key still does not get the love she deserves out here, bro. Like, for real.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I'm talking to you, Adidas basketball. Listen, I'm calling him out. We on the 50th episode. I'm calling him out. I see a lot of people that are getting handed a lot of stuff from the brands, and I saw a lot of people getting gifted a lot of these Anthony Edwards, but Key put that fit on with the AEs
every time,
and nothing, and I'm like, what are we doing out here? Like, are y'all okay? So anyway, shout to Key, man. There's a lot of trendsetters on that app still, even with as much as they have, because Key is getting gifted from like Nike and stuff. She's getting looks, but like there's still people I feel like that are still like the underdogs out here, and they still for whatever reason, still gotta go through those trenches. But yeah, I feel you though. I feel you.
I mean, I like Twitter, simply because I said it on my story. There's a lot of conversations that I pivot from when we're on this podcast, and it's not because of me being afraid to have those conversations. It's just that I don't feel like the the people that we have on the episode are just me and Morgan. It's not enough to have that conversation. We're not qualified. There's just not enough input to have those conversations. But on Twitter, I feel like it's just an open space. Like, it's not limited to just one person. Anybody's going to chime in. So 100%. That's why I like Twitter. I'm like, let's do it.
Everybody's got a voice.
In general, and as a collective, has not had any issues on Twitter. But I'm waiting just to see if anything ever pops off, because I'm ready to have those conversations. I am definitely ready.
I'm ready for the drama. You gotta let me know if that happens, because I'll be there.
I think it's coming.
I'll be there. Guns ablaze.
I've let it be known what side we're on, so it's already there. But
you talking about the Marissa Hill situation?
Yeah, I mean, look. Oh wait, you thought I was gonna be like, oh no, bro. I've been saying her name since it happened.
In the last episode, you were talking about it.
Yeah. Nah, I'm
gonna be real. I've watched her content on YouTube because she was reviewing sneakers that I was interested in, right? Like, and then she got a little too big for her britches, man. I think, from because I don't know the whole situation. I know who Key is, and I know who Marissa is, and I've seen some of the replies, and it's based on, from what I understand, Marissa is calling herself the voice of the culture, voice of the community.
Voice of the street, like
a leader
of
my the sneaker culture. Yeah, a voice. She called herself a leader in sneakers. Yeah, and so she went on a thread about women and
Okay. It got a little crazy.
I mean, so let's get into it, right? So here we are. So we here. So yeah, so Marissa called herself a leader. She made sure to correct me and not call herself the leader. So she called herself a leader in sneakers, and she went on a very long thread, basically telling the women in sneakers, if you're not where you feel like you should be, it's your fault. And a lot of y'all can't even really have this conversation with me because you don't even produce enough content and you don't work hard enough to even be on my level. So you're irrelevant. And a lot of women that are vetted in sneakers and have been OGs and are very well respected in the industry, even if they don't have the most followers, are extremely respected in the industry. Naturally, they showed up and they packed Marissa up because they were like, who are you? Somebody who just got here during COVID, right? Who are you to now dictate, what's going on in sneaker culture and who the movers and shakers are within sneaker culture. So that's where a lot of the venom and the acid came from towards Marissa, was because they felt like, listen, when you're in a space like sneakers that has seen many eras, right, and things like that, you pay homage to your OGs. It's just how I was raised. You pay homage to the people that came before you. Like me personally, right? Like I always pay homage to Jacques Slade and Fulmer and even and Kais sometimes. But those guys like George Keel the second.
Yeah, George Keel. Yep.
Yo Ants, Annihilations. Like we pay. So people called her an industry plant because Marissa's whole thing is data and analytics. So Marissa's whole thing is like, well, I'm reaching 18 million unique visitors every month across my socials, so I win. I have 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, so I win, right? And so when you can match the numbers that I produce, you can have the conversation with me. But the problem is that that's a very tone-deaf statement because Marissa isn't culture, right? And so she kept asking everybody, well, what is culture? What does culture mean? And that was the problem that we had when we went on Rafi's live because it felt very condescending, right? It felt like the way she was speaking to myself and Key, it was like low-key gaslighting. It was very condescending. And so she kept asking us these questions that the answer is ambiguous. Culture is a very layered answer. So her whole point was, okay, well, if it's a layered answer, then I'm a leader in it. I'm part of the culture. But we look at it like, no, because culture is something that honestly you feel, right? It emanates off of you and it comes out, in your passion. Marissa's not very passionate. She's a hard worker, but Marissa's not passionate about what she does. And I don't want people to confuse one with the other. You can be a very hard worker and not passionate. I mean, we have 9-to-5s. A lot of people are not very passionate about their 9-to-5, but they work very hard in it. I could work for the government and not care about what they're building, but I'm going to work hard doing my job because that's what they pay.
Right.
So for Marissa, and on top of that, a lot of Marissa's viral content was not sneaker centric. And that's where her and I had a back and forth because she was like, well, my most viral video is a sneaker video. Well, you had a pair of Supreme Dunks on in the video, but the video was you wearing a very suggestive dress during New York Fashion. Had your chest out and covered it with pasties, and shock value of that made you go viral. It had nothing to do with the shoes, right? But she was like, but I was wearing shoes in it. Well, you didn't even put the sneaker in the caption of the shoe. You know what I'm saying? So like, no, that doesn't count as sneaker content. But what happened was that she became friends with the right people. And I'm gonna tell you, I've talked to Marissa offline. I have Marissa's phone number. Like Marissa's told me her life story. And honestly, the reason why I haven't gone nuclear on Marissa is because I know her life story. Marissa, for what I can speak on, Marissa has had a troubled past. Like she's been through a lot, like in her family.
Yeah.
So like because of that, I understand that she got into a space where she gravitated towards the people in the community that made her feel accepted. And comfortable, she became a model and that came with its own politics, and so she found this niche because of her look with, I'm gonna just keep it a being with middle-aged white women. Like that became her fan base, but she became the right middle-aged white that had power, somebody that was an exec at ABC. Now she's on a Hulu documentary about East Side Golf. Jacques should have had that job. I'm gonna scream that from the rooftops. Y'all did an Eastside Golf documentary about a black-owned golf, duo that created an apparel and sneaker brand in golf. You don't get Jacques Slade, the prominent sneaker and golf content creator, to be a part of this documentary. You get Marissa Hill? Made no sense.
Yeah.
But she was friends with the producer.
And she don't even claim to be black. That's the crazy part about it.
Well, you peeped that. That was yep. She doesn't claim to be black. And that's why I asked her exactly what I asked her. Because I asked her, I said, "You're a black woman, right?" And she said, "I'm mixed." And I was like, okay, well, that doesn't stop you from trying to get the bag during Black History Month when you put them dreads and them dreadlocks and them braids in. Now, on March 1st, she snatches them dreads and them braids out, right? But every February, you can go back. Them braids is in. And she posts them pictures of her black dad and her black grandparents and her black brothers and sisters. And she's like, hey, y'all remember I'm black. But during AAPI month, she's Asian. During Native American month, she's Native American. During Black People month, she's black. And during the rest of the month, she caters to, Greenwich Village, and that demographic.
She is. She's palatable. She's extremely palatable. She's what's the word I said earlier? Marketable.
She's marketable. She's marketable. There you go. She's marketable.
Right.
And I accept her for who she is. And I think that people just have to do that. I accept her for who she is, but she will forever be she will never take accountability for her lack of appreciation for the culture that she takes a lot from. And that's just something that we just have to eat. The Brotherhood 1 video was a primary example. She thought the name of Michael Jordan's fraternity was literally called the Brotherhood. And that told me everything I needed to know. And she never cared to be educated about it. Because I tried to educate her. And she was like, whatever, video's over.
Has she never stepped foot on a college campus?
She played volleyball in college, but again, she played volleyball in college, but she was probably one of the ones that didn't want nothing to do with the black frats and the black sororities and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So
yeah,
he was a hip, but
it's what's disappointing is that I've watched Marissa Hill grow as a YouTube content creator, and even I mean, I don't know how early I was watching, but the production value, like she had good lighting all the time. Like there was always like whoever was capturing her on foot pictures, which is part of the reason why I was watching, because not that I was going to go out and wear a dress with a pair of, Jordans or whatever, but what colors is she using to, like, how is she styling this? What colors is she using? But I thought that she would make a great, I would say a great ambassador for sneakers, right? She's a great ambassador for sneakers to bring sneakers to a more widespread audience, which is what I think our mission is, right? Like, yes, we want to cater to the sneakerheads who are already into sneakers, but don't we want more sneakerheads, right? And I thought, it's a young lady. She is conventionally attractive. She's a model. And she likes sneakers. Like, this is the perfect ambassador to bring people into sneakers. And then when I saw what she said about J-Tip stealing her idea of doing a laundromat shoot, I was kind of put off. Yeah, I was kind of put off. And then this whole situation here is kind of putting me off. Now, that doesn't mean that she will never be, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
We all say things on the internet that we're not proud of. I haven't yet, of course, but
she hasn't either.
I took it out.
She hasn't either. She's very proud of what she said. Like,
that's fair. That's fair. But it's like we have the opportunity. We have an opportunity to, like, she has an opportunity to do something great with, like I said, how marketable she is to executives at ABC, right?
Yeah.
Where she can start to kind of give back and be like, no, like, yo, I'm gonna bring you up with me. I'm like, it's kind of like not really like what
she does that.
Go ahead.
But she claims that she does that because on the stream she was like, oh well, I have lifted women up behind me. They're just very hardworking women, and we were like, well, who? And so one person was Swoosh Mons, this girl named Mons. Mons, I met Mons. She's sweet. She was in Ohio with us, and then this one woman that's like based in like Mexico or something, and then somebody else, but they're not like, I get they're apparently sneaker people, but not anybody that like we would really be familiar with. Like except Mons, I knew Mons, but other than that, yeah, no.
Yeah, like as a tennis coach, right? If we're kind of like, our resume is the players who we've created, right? Like that's our whole resume. Like I can sit here and say, oh well, I worked 50 hours last week and I taught this many adult classes and this many kids classes and I taught this many lessons. Like your whole resume is like, okay, who have you created? Right? Like who have you made? And like that means from the beginning up. So if she's claiming that she's like that she's bringing these women up, or bringing anybody up, we want to know who and how are they faring now? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And so, I mean, and that I don't know, like again, because she said her demo is 13 to 17-year-old girls. Like that's who watches the majority of her content. And I was like, okay, well that doesn't reflect who consumes sneaker centric content, right? Like they watch you, these little girls, they might look up to you as a model, but they're not looking at your sneaker style, but you're parlaying this into what she does. And this is why I told people stop engaging with her on Twitter for real, because people like that, I told them you got to hit them in the pocket. You got to hit them in the impressions. So like everything that was going on, she didn't care about any of it. Because one thing I know about talking to Marissa one-on-one on the phone, she can't turn off her sales brain. Like she's incapable of it. Like she's always in pitch mode all the time. So when she gets on Twitter, she said this on Twitter. I was like, what are you doing on Twitter if you don't like the people here? She's like, well, it's good for my SEO. It's good for my search. It's good for my metrics. So she gets on there, she throws a grenade, it blows up her impressions. She takes those impressions, she puts them in a pitch deck. Right? Look at what I did on Twitter last month. It doesn't matter what the conversation was about because the brands don't care that much. All they care about is that she did X amount of impressions. So I tell people, well, if you really want to get her up out of here, don't engage. Think about Twitter, and I wish we would be better about this. Twitter loves to react to everything. Yeah. They love to react. So, and sometimes it's because, it makes us feel smarter or it makes us feel like we're having a conversation, whatever. But I tell people, you got to pick your battles. Lord knows I'm working on that myself, but you got to pick your battles on here. There are people that you really want to get out of here. The best way is to starve them of the attention that they're clearly seeking.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Like you know what? This, I know Flex doesn't like talking about this stuff.
When she says the outlandish things that she says, you want to respond. She knows how to rage bait people. There's a lot of people on that app that know how to rage bait people very well. I'm trying not to name names, but there's a lot of people on there that like to rage bait.
No. Don't wait till we're 45 minutes in. Don't wait till now to not want to name names. And about like people would just going on to Twitter and throwing a grenade. Like I've been watching a lot of post-election content. I was watching a lot of content leading up to the election, and a lot of people are arguing with, not even arguing, but they're sitting down with these right-wing pundits on Twitter. We're not going to talk politics. No, we're not. But that is, they have the same strategy of where they don't believe the things that they're saying, and they will go onto Twitter and just drop a bomb and then leave, and they admit that in these interviews. No, because in their minds they've won. So
I feel that.
Yeah. So I see that we see that strategy.
My biggest issue when I was watching it, I went back and I watched it live, and my biggest issue wasn't even like what she was saying. My biggest issue was what I seen without what she was saying, her body language. And I told this personally. I told this because I talked to Key, and I'm like, leave that alone, because I seen a dog. A dog. When I've been around some of the toughest people, and I've been around the smartest people, and she knows how to back up. Oh, look what he's doing. Look what he's doing. He's yelling. He's screaming. See, I told you. I told you. And it is kind of like, and like she says nothing. So I can't hold you accountable because you didn't say anything.
Right.
And it just makes you look crazy. It fits the And I was like, just let that one go. Leave that alone.
Yeah.
Don't mess with it. I've seen people like that, and it frustrated me because that's the reason why I move like I move. That's the reason why I don't pop off. That's the reason why I try to pronounce things the correct way, because I know how people be like, "Oh, see, I told you. I told you. I told you. He's crazy. That's the real him. That's the real him." Which is going to lead us to our next topic. That's how I feel a lot of people went about the whole Yachty and Beamer. Look, see, I told you. I told you. And a lot of people didn't see it like that. But when what I seen was it's two black men yelling at each other.
Right.
And it kind of just fits that. See, this is why we can't put you on the front stage.
Right.
Yachty is at this level. Beamer is at this level. And we got to understand that we got to learn how to handle and conduct ourselves in a better way. I'm not saying don't be you.
Right.
You can correct him, but not like that. Not in front of everybody where everybody's screaming, "Oh!" Because all those people that were screaming posted a video, went back home and was like, "See, that was the wrong way to go about it." But yet you were in the crowd. Oh!
Yep.
You know, it's like the death match is going on. And then once the death comes, it's like, such a great guy.
Wow. I wish why did it go so far? How do we let it get that far?
We got to do better. We got to do better.
We got to do better. I've been saying this.
Exactly. And you had my guy Joe over there like, "Hey, don't talk about my friend. No. Like you
talking about Joe LaPuma?
Yeah. You're like,
who you talking about? Hold on, who you talking about?
No, I'm not gonna say his name because I messed up on the last episode. And
He says Joe LaPluma.
And I was like, and I'm like, if he really wanted to correct it, he could have corrected. Like, hey, y'all, calm down. We can get that together. We can have a conversation after this. And it was pretty much what they did,
Right.
But at that moment, everybody's just like, oh, bottles thrown, let's get it done. And then that's the picture that's what goes viral within the sneaker culture and outside. When people see sneakers, they just see a bunch of people fighting over sneakers, but it's deeper than that, because it's deeper than him just criticizing him. Because like I said on my story, this is personal to us.
Right.
Our style, our love for sneakers come from our love for our fathers, our brothers, our mothers, our sisters, because we looked at their feet and was like, "Hey, what are those?"
Right.
Like, our cousin got those on. So when you talk about my style or my love for sneakers, I automatically think that loved one. Like, oh, like, wait a minute. No, because I got my style from Big Bro. Like that. No, you're not going to do that. And that's what the argument was really about. It's not just sneakers.
Yes.
I hate when people try to just ball it up and it's just sneakers. No, it's deeper than sneakers. There's actual passion. There's love. This is people's livelihood. There's people that make money off this. So it's not just sneakers. So when there's arguments like that, we can't just, it's just sneakers. But just saying that, my question is, why are we so quick to pack it up? I noticed once they pieced it up, it was just like, we moved on.
Right.
But that's not enough for me, because I need to know, how can we resolve this so it doesn't happen again? Because it can easily happen again next year.
Ooh, I mean, I'm not going to front. I kind of want those things to happen.
Really?
So I kind of want it to happen.
How come?
Huh?
How come you want those to happen?
I mean, I want people to stand by with how they feel. I want people to stand by how they feel. Like, sometimes I know that for any sort of discussion, right? Like, you need to be able to seed ground, right? Like, there needs to be compromise.
Absolutely.
But I think now that I've thought about it more, like, Beamer Williams, I don't think there's anybody who's wrong. I think the way Lil Yachty talked about it, me personally, I thought that he was a little vulgar and tried to embarrass Beamer a little too much, but I feel like he needs to defend his product. And with Bima, his job is to critique collaborations. That's what he does.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's two guys who are passionate about what they're doing, on different sides. Neither one of them are wrong. I personally am on Bima's side. That doesn't make me right. That doesn't make Bima right. It doesn't make Lil Yachty wrong. Right. But I feel like the passion, I felt like I saw the passion, and then they squashed it. Right.
Right.
I would have loved to see a public squash, not I think Bima said, like, we've deaded it. Let's not talk about it anymore.
Well, they
let's.
They did do an Instagram live.
Oh, they did. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
So,
but
go ahead.
My thing is, I'm not even on the who's right or wrong anymore. Like I don't care about that part. My part is how we conduct ourselves and how we move past this and how we resolve it. So we're not gonna see Stephen Smith and Chicker Hatfield telling you, "Oh, you slopping on balls," and like you're not gonna see that. You're not.
But if we did,
but you're not gonna see it though. You're not gonna see that. And if it did happen, it's probably behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Like, because they know how to conduct themselves. They know the type of, like, where they're at. They know the level that they're at. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't care about who's right or wrong.
Yeah.
And go correct him. Yes, correct him, but do it in a way to where it's not a show. It doesn't have to be a show for everyone. You know what I'm saying?
It can be a show, but it's not. I mean, he beat down Bima, and like I feel like it can still be entertaining, I think, right? Like it can still be like, I mean, me and you have had disagreements, and we found ways to keep it respectful and entertaining, but still, like, I mean, people have contacted us like, yo, are y'all serious? You know, like it can be something like that where Yachty didn't even make us wonder if he was serious or not. Like, oh, he got his feelings hurt.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But yeah, I see what you're saying now. I like the disagreement. I don't like how Yachty, you know.
Yeah, we're gonna have disagreements. We're gonna have disagreements, but like I said, how are we gonna prevent this from happening again next year? What happens when someone else is up there and their shoe is critiqued, and now it's the same thing over again? We obviously see that the other panel, the rest of the panel, was not trying to stop it. You know.
Wasn't Joe instigating it?
He was instigating. I mean, Bima called him instigator. So,
okay.
Yeah, he did.
So,
I didn't see him trying to stop it because he was definitely like, "Oh no!" Like,
yeah,
no.
Complex. Like, and that's. I think that they realized at one point, like, to your point, Flex, right? Like, this is bigger than us. There's somebody who's profiting off of us acting like buffoons, and they don't look like us.
For hundreds of years, bro.
You know what I mean? So, like...
ding.
For over 100 years, bro. It's the same. It's the minstrel show, bro. They brought the minstrel show up
100%.
there.
Yes, 100%. And it's like, why do we have to act out like this? And I think that point between Bima and Yachty, maybe where they came together, they were like, okay, wait a minute. They just kind of low-key hustled the both of us and got a ton of engagement.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to do it. So I think that's why they came together. They want to get that out as fast as they could.
Yeah.
But to your point, how do we stop that from happening again? I'm going to keep it a buck with you. Like, this is something that I have been adopting with a lot of the hate that I get online, because, like, hate gets impressions. Hate gets clicks. Like, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Right? So a lot of people on Twitter realize the reason why they're not piecing it up with me right now, even though I keep saying my DM is open, is because it actually gets them more rewards to hate me than for us to piece it up. Fine. But the way that I'm going to deal with all that hatred is action. Right? Like, so if I'm Yachty and I see a video from Bima and I genuinely don't rock with Bima, let's just say, like, I was like, okay, whatever, fine. He did the right thing, because in his comments on the original video, Yachty just said LOL and kept it pushing. That's all
he did. Yep.
Big spectacle out of it. I would have let my shoe drop. I would have sold out. I would have bodied Con. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll be up.
Yeah.
At that point, I just would have been like, Now say something. And I just would have let my success speak on my behalf, which we need to do more.
Yep.
Yeah.
We need to do that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, I mean,
I struggle with that. I want that instant gratification.
I know.
I struggle with that, man. I need to sun somebody. Like I need to sun somebody
and
right now.
That's why when shots are thrown at us, I don't tell Morgan about it because there's currently shots that are being thrown, and I'm just like, I know it's for us.
Oh wow.
And I'm like, okay, that's cool. But I'm not gonna speak on it simply because I know we're gonna be in the same room one day, and then that's when I'll speak on it.
Who is it?
No, we're not. All right, we're not talking about
because
bro. We said we put names out there, bro.
No, not this one. Not this one. We're not gonna put this name. We're not putting this name out there.
And tell me off air then.
Is it the podcast that just called me out the other day and tried to get some engagement off my name? You may not know who I'm talking about. They put a list out of people.
Oh no. See, you know what? I'm gonna be honest. So out of all the sneaker podcasts, I rarely listen to the sneaker disc pod. I think was it disc pod and sneaker. Yeah. Now that was crazy.
Was Seth and Winona? Was it Seth and Winona?
Bro, come on, no.
I was gonna say
that would be crazy, bro.
Come on,
that would be crazy.
Come on, not Seth and Winona. No, absolutely not.
Because look, if it's Haas, I'll never know. Is it Haas?
No, we got Haas on next week. But
I'm about to say because if it's Haas, I'll never know because I don't listen.
That's crazy.
No, I'm playing.
Yo, please.
I'm playing. Look, shout out Haas. But no,
I rock with Haas, man. I rock with Haas.
But just moving forward, I just feel like we're all. I feel like right now the circle that we have, the people that are podcasting, the people that are creating content, I feel like we're all slowly getting to a high level of content creation and influencing. I think we're gonna be in some rooms and panels and stuff like that. So I just feel like it's best for us to know now how to move and conduct ourselves so we don't run into these problems.
Absolutely.
So what they say?
I think shout out to the women that raised me. I think that's what pushed me to overdo it when it comes to being a man, because it's just like I have to prove myself because I wasn't raised by a man. So like I really got to go out my way when it goes to like when I speak to a man. It's like, no, we're gonna handle this. I'm not gonna bitch out. I'm not gonna try to duck you. Like, we can talk and we can have a conversation. We don't have to yell and scream. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I thought the women that raised me was a podcast. Not
like, okay, so the women that raised me. So who was that? Let me see. Let me look them.
Yeah, right. I was like, the women that raised me. What they talking about, bro? What they talking about?
The women that raised me.
You're talking about the actual women that raised him.
Hey, that's a dope name.
That is a fire name, though.
That's a dope.
The women that
raised me.
Yeah, that's
a fire podcast name.
Yeah, that is
no.
That is true.
No, but moving on into our
we're not moving on.
Hey,
we are. Moving on to
I just want to know what they said. What did they say? What'd they say?
Pretty much that our podcast wasn't worthy of listening to. So that but I mean it's a lot of build up. There's a lot of things that I just put 2 and 2 together.
Now whoever's my guys gotta come and see about me, all right? Because I don't get on nothing that's whack. So
exactly.
We're not worthy of listening to. That's crazy because whoever said it, I've never heard of them, obviously.
And you're never gonna hear of them. But look, so that moves into our next topic. We actually have a couple. I'm gonna pick one. Because I it wasn't on the original thing to talk about. While you were sleeping, the campaign. And I'm gonna start off with me. I was super excited about this. I first seen the rollout, and I don't know what happened. But it just seemed like that bus left the station. Like I lost the excitement. I stopped seeing it, and the thing about it, I'm not even gonna say that they stopped that had releases, and no, because we're still having releases. And I just feel like that was a drop, that was a fumble, because I feel like there was so much potential within that campaign. And I feel like right now, where we're at in the sneaker space, media and campaigning is huge. Because we're kind of looking more of like looking past what's hot, what's popular. We're looking more of like storytelling and stuff like that. So we're huge on campaigning. And I just want to know what happened. I seen there was like there was gonna be like an actual theater release of something.
We're doing like
behind it.
Yeah,
a short film, and that was dope. But that's also when I lost interest. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. Maybe it was just dragged out too long, but I lost excitement on that campaign. I don't know where we go from here. Like, where do we go with? Why? Because we still have one more release, right?
The Converse one. After the Air Force One is happening right now, and then we still have the Converse Weapon Low to drop to finish it up.
What happened? What do you guys feel happened on that?
I'm not gonna stop. So,
I haven't even seen a campaign, to be honest with you. I saw the sneakers. I saw the product.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything else. And I like the 3s and I like the 4s. I know a lot of other people don't, but
right.
I like the shoes. Were the Air Max 95s a part of the campaign?
Yes,
they were.
Love those.
Have they released that?
Yeah, they dropped.
Okay.
Yeah, I love those. Are they sitting like those 3s and 4s?
Yeah, a lot of people did not buy them. A lot of people did not buy them.
Really?
A lot of people.
The
fact that they were leather, especially around the toe.
Yeah.
They hoped that they were all suede, and they weren't, so they left.
Gotcha. Well, I'll be copping those. But I like the sneakers, but I mean, if James' storytelling is similar to what he's done in the past, is it?
Well, yes and kind of. So I'll paint the picture. The story is that there is this government organization called the CRA, the Creative Some Resource Agency. And this government organization is imposing what they call a black tax on the creative works of prominent black creators in the industry. And so these black creators are banding together in resistance of the CRA to continue to create their art, but without government intervention. And the tagline is create at all costs. So it's like, the whole thing about buying these sneakers is that you're joining the resistance of black creators that want to create at all costs, no matter what, against the machine. That's the ethos of what. And then While You Were Sleeping is, these entities and these government agencies, they try to creep in and impose these taxes while you were sleeping. Or it could be, while you were sleeping, maybe it's time to wake up to the things that are around you now. It's like not clear exactly what it means, but it's in that ballpark.
Yeah, that does sound interesting.
Yeah,
that sounds like and that sounds different than what he's put out before. Because before it seemed like a lot of like poverty porn, man.
Yeah, poverty.
Yeah, trauma, porn, man.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah,
well, that's what they say about the. Yeah, like it's like, we all grinding and we trying to make $2 turn into or 2 nickels turn into a quarter or something like that.
Right.
No, that sounds. I like how that sounds. But now to Flex's point, where's the story gone? What's happening with it?
Exactly. That's where we're losing the rabbit here, because so to Flex's point, number one, this campaign dragged way too long. It's going way
gotcha,
and the incremental pieces of the story that they're telling are not enough to keep people engaged with these drops. And at the same time, each one of these pieces of the story costs you $225 on top of that. And you're dropping, 6 shoes that all cost $200 or more. And it's like,
Yeah.
I got money for all of this, man. Like, what do you expect us to do? And so I think it's just the whole, and while it's not trauma and poverty for him, it's still very like pro-black. And I'm not mad at it, but I think people just have people have fatigue with Amamanier.
I agree with that.
They're just tired, and I will also put this out here as well. And I'll get into more of this as well, because this is why James hates me. Because y'all know James does not like me, like at all. Like he can't stand me. He made calls in. So when me and Lois Sackney from Snobette, we broke the news about James's new deal with Adidas, and he made a call because Nice Kicks posted about it, and he made a call to Nice Kicks, and he was like, "That dude is a cornball. Take that down right now. It's false. None of it is true. There's no deal with Adidas. It's not true." And then 2 months later, 38A, Adidas superstar, the Whitaker Group. So people had to eat their words that were like, Kari is wrong as usual. I wasn't, but the problem that we're also having is that James just also stretched very thin. James's hands have not been on a lot of Amamanyer's projects lately because he has so many irons and so many fires, keep things going. And honestly, the internal problems of the Whitaker Group have also started to seep out into the world, like his fence and him shutting down. Probably, he shut down an entire brand under the Whitaker Group. Prosper is gone. So that happened. So a lot of people are getting fired from the Whitaker Group right now or quitting. So there's a lot of problems that were internal that they were able to kind of keep close to the chest that are also starting to come out, and it's lowering the enthusiasm of this as well. Now, he'll also say, and this is part of the problem as well, the brand doesn't amplify his visuals either. So a lot of his sales are literally depending on the community to fuel the hype. And people are tired of bearing that cross behind them. We're tired of bearing that load. So Nike doesn't, Nike never shares any of Amamanyer's visuals, ever. They don't share any of this stuff. Yeah. So it's on us to keep the momentum of his brand going. And people look at him now like, well, you're doing Fed stuff overseas. You got this. Are you really who you say you are? So there are people that are wondering if he's actually who he's selling himself to be at this point. So it's not, man. The average consumer, I
don't assume that he is. I just assume that he's not, right? I'm no dummy. I'm not naive. I assume that he's essentially playing a character to sell sneakers, and that's fine, right? But there's never been that. Well, not never, but there's not that question for me.
Yeah, and the thing is, a lot of James's story really did happen, right? He really went to prison. He really grew up poor. He really went through the struggle. He really did that. But unfortunately, a lot of the execution of the brand doesn't reflect the message of his brand. For instance, if you're seeding out sneakers, right? And you're telling Black stories, you need to seed more Black people that can help tell that Black story. Yeah. So it doesn't connect when you're seeding and gifting all this stuff out. And you're telling people, well, thank you for being a part of our story, but they're not even Black. And it's no shade. It's fine. Keep those people on your list, but I'm not seeing the product get into the hands of the people who actually reflect what you say your message is. Right. So there's a disconnect there. That's my thing. It's a lot of disconnects. So
I mean it's kind of crazy because the irony of speaking on Black tax and then having the Black people pay for your shoes and then you send free pairs to someone that's not Black. It's just like
hello.
While you were sleeping.
Right.
While you were sleeping, I said,
while you were sleeping, James pulled the wool over our eyes.
I sent a couple pairs over to, sent a couple pairs over there for free, and yet here I am, and I had to pay for the whole pack.
Right.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
And then I paid taxes on top of taxes because our mama there is $20 for shipping.
So you get
bro. Isn't he in North Carolina?
It's still pay that tax, and you still pay shipping.
Wow. See,
$20 to send it to the same state.
Just flat rate shipping. Everybody pays the same. So,
that's not our mama there in North Carolina though. Social status is North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, got you. So yeah, I mean, but to your point though, Flex, right? Like so I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna name no names. But there was something.
Why? We're an hour in.
Because this one, I just can't. But there was someone that was considered and pitched for the campaign. And I will not reveal who this person was, but this person declined being a part of this campaign because the pitch was weird. And like, admittedly, when I talked to that person, they were like, the pitch just was weird. And like, because to Flex's point, there's a disconnect, right? Like, this is about a tax being imposed that we're resisting while also being taxed to be part of the story, to support you. All of our support costs $230. You ain't no free ways to support you. Like, that's my whole thing. And people don't have $100. And I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna be real. Since we about to close out, people are buying a lot of James's products to gain favor in James' eyes that they'll never gain. And I wish that people really understood that. A lot of people are buying a lot of Ama Manier and Whitaker Group products out of guilt. Like, they're buying it because it makes them feel better because of the stories that are being told. And people also got tired of that too, because it got expensive. And I think that's why not only are we seeing people not buying because they're just like, well, I like the story, but this is just overkill. But a lot of people's consciences have now been cleared, right? And so that's the point of continuing to tell these super duper Black stories all the time, be it trauma or stuff like that, is because it actually guilts people into buying it. Like, are you really about us? Are you really an ally? Because if you are, spend this $225 on these new Jordan 39s. If you're really,
So you don't support Black-owned business at all?
Right. Because
if you don't buy these sneakers?
Because it becomes that, right? It becomes that. And I'm going to tell you,
when
it came to the Adidas deal, like, I know everything about James's Adidas deal. I know everything about it. I know the money. I know the conversations. I know all of that. What I can say about that deal, though, is that the pitch made to the CEO of Adidas was the fact that Adidas was not doing a good job of telling Black stories. So that Black card is being recycled back into Adidas, right? So that's still a thing that was used to pitch Adidas, and it works. Millions of dollars brand deal now, brand partnership with Adidas, so it works. But like, eventually, I don't know if you're going to see the same traction, and that's why the Superstar had to be friends and family only. That Superstar, just so y'all know, that was supposed to be a GR, just so y'all know. But realize that the Superstar sucks and it doesn't sell very well, and so they decided to make it a friends and family only and just gift them all out to people to drum up the excitement about what Adidas is doing. And just so y'all know, a little more tea, the next drop with Whitaker Group, the next GR, is going to be a Jabbar. So the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Adidas has been the Jabbar low and the Jabbar high lately.
Yeah.
That is the next it shoe for Adidas. We're going to see there are already collabs, partnerships, SMUs for the Jabbar that are lined up. So in 2025, the Jabbar is going to be that model for Adidas. And James Whitner and the Whitaker Group, they're going to lead that charge of the Jabbar. So be prepared for more Black stories coming.
More Black stories.
They're coming.
I don't like that decision from Adidas. Unless the high top basketball shoe from the 70s and 80s is going to be the silhouette that we're running to next year.
Yep.
I don't see that doing well.
I don't either.
Like, we've got the spot built Sonic Highs from Saucony. They sent them to us. And that's another one. Say it again.
I said, shout to Trinidad, by the way, my guy.
Shout out to Trinidad. We got to get him. We're trying. We're trying to get him.
Get on.
For sure. Yeah, no. I told you I got to follow from him.
Yeah. Yeah. I bet.
Look. Love it.
And that's this. I mean, I liked the New Balance 650 probably more than most, right? And I like these spot built Sonic Highs probably more than most.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm still looking for a Command Force High on eBay, right?
Yeah.
I'm just curious as to how these are going to sell with the rest of the public. So
I'm gonna ask y'all this.
We will see.
How did the other Whitaker Group drop sell? The New Balance collabs, stuff like that. Personally, I think it'll be met with a lukewarm reception because at the end of the day, the reason why his models sell is because they are Jordan 3s and Jordan 4s. They're iconic models, right? And that helps.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I was wearing the Social Status 999 last weekend, and was the Whitaker Group? Do you remember that sneaker, the Case 999?
Me?
No, Kari.
Yeah.
You remember this? So, was the Whitaker Group around during that time, or was it just Social Status?
Well, the Whitaker
when those dropped,
they were around during that time too. Yeah.
Okay. That's not a shoe that got a lot of hype. You know what I mean? Like you said, Kari, if it's not the Jordan 3, Jordan 4, if it's not a Jordan, or a lot of people said that they like the Air Max 95s. Apparently, they're not feeling them. I just don't think it has that traction.
Right. They don't.
And that Case 999 isn't telling a black story. It's based on True Detective. I think that's what the show is called.
Yep. True Detective. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, all I can say, James, if you're listening, I'm just ready to hear some success, some black success stories.
Thank you.
I already know about the struggle. I already know what it is. I know what it is to be black, and I know he voiced his opinion and his frustrations about people saying that he only talks about the bad parts and the struggles of black people, but he's talking. But the thing about it is, you're speaking only about being black. Right. We all know we're black. We know what it means to be black. We know what comes with being black. Now, what we're saying is, give us some help. How are we going to get past it? How we live with it? How do we get in those spaces that you're in? That's what I want to know. Yeah. I already know that I probably didn't get this job because I'm a black man, or I probably got this look because I'm a black man, or I probably got taxed because I'm a black man. I know that. I don't need you to put it on the shoe, and then I got to pay $230 to get it. I get that. I get that. So now I want to hear something like, the success. Let's talk about that and put that on the shoe. Then I can feel like a successful black man rather than a black taxed black man.
There you go.
When I'm putting the shoe on, because it's kind of like I'm wearing these sad stories on my feet. Because this is that story. This is and there's none of this. The only ones that are even close to being success stories, the women that work hard. That I'm proud to wear, because like I said, I was raised by women, and I was raised by a woman that worked hard and still works hard. So I'm like, all right, cool. I like this. But all that, secret society, Air Jordan 3s, is kind of like, all right, man, give me something else. Give me something else.
I agree.
Selling baggies of hot Cheetos in the store or at school, and
story about when I was in high school. So back when I was hustling. Now I did it. So we had a school store.
Mm-hmm.
I would take $40. I'll go in there and buy $40 worth of candy. But this is where I would come up at. I would steal $40 worth of candy.
Oh.
So I'm over there. I'm racking up. Boom, boom, boom. I am putting it all in my pockets. I would wear, because this when baggy clothes were in. So my brother had just went off to prison. So I'm wearing his. This is a grown ass man, and I'm the junior in high school, and I'm wearing these huge Jabos, Coogee pants. Like, they're huge. Like, you can't even see. There's no type of shape in them. It's literally just like the inflatable pants.
Crazy.
So like I'm just doing boom, I'm just throwing them in there. And then one day I noticed, because you got to be hip to stuff like that. I'm always looking around. And they had another guy in there, and I noticed that the guy was watching me. And then the dude was like, the guy that ran the store, he kept on telling the other people, like, move out the way. Because I would always kind of smush in with the group so I could, like, stuff my pockets.
Yeah.
So I noticed he kept on telling everybody to move. I'm like, oh, okay. That's how we planned it today. But that's why I always spent $40 with the man. So once he came, like, hey, man, I heard blah, blah. I was like, come on, Sonny. I spend $40, $50 with you every day. Yeah. Why would I do that? And I grew past those moments, and I don't want to go back. So when I put on those shoes, it don't remind me of being a hustler. It just reminds me of like when I was stealing stuff, and that's not a good reminder. It's not something I want to put on my feet.
Right.
I don't want to be reminded of the trauma and what I had to do to get where I'm at. I don't want to be reminded. I know that. I get it. And we understand that. We give our head nod like, oh, we give our little, sentiments, and if you know, you know. Right. That's enough. That's enough. I don't need to put it on my clothes and my feet. I don't need that.
Exactly.
But with that being said, let's get into our showcase.
No, that's why I love what Joe is doing and what Tips is doing, and because they're telling different stories. That's why I appreciate you guys are doing.
Yeah, I definitely shout out J Tails, man. I love what he's doing because it's very personal. His last media that he dropped, I liked his ending. He was like, man, stop hanging out with Jason. He changing you, because that's real. That right there is real. That's real, because I know he's probably heard that from like people that he grew up with, that's he been around. Family is kind of like, man, you hanging out with them dudes, man, they changing you. And I can't remember who said it. It was a rapper, but it was like, it might have been Jay-Z. I'm not sure. But it was like, I made $1 million. I was supposed to change. Like you start making this money, you supposed to change. You supposed to adapt. You ain't got to forget where you came from. But yeah, I gotta move a little different, man.
Yeah, you gotta move different.
I'm with you.
All right, what you bring today, Flex?
So I just got these Zen. I haven't did my video on them yet, but this pair I've been chasing. Got them for a steal. I'm going with Air Max Plus in the Voltage purple colorway. Still looking for the Sunset pair. But I got these for, I think, $100 shipped.
Yeah, I bet.
So yeah,
desktop or what?
Yeah, desktop. I got these from where did I get these from? Finish Line, JD Sports, one of those.
Good deal.
But yeah, I was like, this is a go. The Air Max Plus is definitely one of my favorite Nike silhouettes, if not my favorite Nike silhouette, just because of the way it looks and feels.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I feel like they're not
the TNs. I hate that. Mm-hmm.
They beat the Air Max Plus to death back in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
I had enough, man. I got the OG colorways. I didn't get the purple pair. Mm-hmm. I got the blue pair, and I got that sunset pair that you're talking about. But I was I was working at Foot Locker at the time too.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
discount game.
Yeah. Yes, I got them at a discount, but I was so tired of selling them. So, let me guess. You want the Air Max Pluses? Oh, you want the velour pair? Oh, you want the black pair?
I remember the velour pair.
Your face probably looked like that too.
Huh?
Your face probably looked just
silver bullets.
Yeah.
Let me guess.
All right. What I brought? Kari alluded to it earlier. Salehi Bembury.
Wow.
530.
33?
Prosperity. No, 530. Prosperity be the prize. I love what Salehi does. I will never get tired of his design language. And the way he designs sneakers. So yeah, these were a must-have, and I got them. Really, really cool.
I took the L on those. I actually went for those, man. I took the L on them. So great pickup, man.
They're incredible, man.
Mine?
Time to pay resale.
I thought I had them by me, but give me 2 seconds because I think they're in my other room.
All good.
Oh man, my man up. He said the other room. You heard that? The other room.
Yeah. So,
Yo, who said it, man?
You said what?
So these are
what
I brought. So shout out to my guy Phil.
Shout out Phil.
Very, very special. This is probably going to be one of the first videos that I do once I get everything all set up. But the Unheard Of and Adidas Rivalry Low Building Bridges. Really, really well done, man. What Phil did, and with the rollout of this shoe, with the packaging of this shoe, and every shoe having this packaging, this crazy packaging behind it. And then just a story behind it, with this being, about the bridge. And, I know y'all probably know the story by now about about the inspiration behind it, but he did a good job on these. So yeah, this is mine. I'm really excited about these. So shout to Phil. That's my guy. That's my guy too.
Yeah,
awesome.
Shout out to Phil. Future guest on the show. Confirmed. Talked to my guy. We had some conversations, some dialogue back and forth.
What?
There you go.
Yeah, I told you about it already. I already told you about it.
You did. My bad.
Look, this is why I don't even tell you. I might well tell you who said it because you're going to forget. Nah, you ain't going to forget
I'm not
that.
gonna forget
The one thing I want you to forget, you ain't going to forget that. But I talked to Phil. Loved what he was doing. I seen what he was doing. I liked it, and that's what really made me reach out to him. He's always telling great stories through his shoes, always. But this last one, I just loved it. He talked about building a bridge, and he built a lot of bridges within the creators in the space. A lot of people met for the first time, rekindled things for the first time. So that was nice to see. I feel like that's something that we need more of. Cough, cough, James. Those are the things that I want to see. Those are what, send out some pairs, get us, as a collective, get together, and let's do a real live while you were sleeping, Black Tax. You know what I'm saying? Let's real life this thing, because it is real. It is real, and we could benefit from having a dialogue and coming together like all these different states within the United States. Hey, I live here, I move here, you know what I'm saying? When you come here, come this way, I help you out. You come this, I help you out. But yeah, I liked it. I like to see that. So shout out Phil. Definitely a dope pair. Love to see the suitcases, and it wasn't $300.
Man.
Yeah, so again, sorry.
That's awesome.
I know you're listening. I'm sorry.
I'm not gonna lie. When you went to Portland, I low key thought that you was doing like a some sort of Nike thing.
You never know.
Hey.
If I go to Nike, it's on behalf of us.
Okay, bet.
Yeah, I'm just gonna come back with a surprise. Like, hey, man, this is what we got to do.
There you go.
Bet. Hey, so before we head out of here, I just want to know
who said it. No,
who said it, bro? I'm trying to say who said we're not worth it. Who said we're not worth listening to?
Hey, man, it's not even worth it. I'm not gonna give them that satisfaction because I know how they move, and I know that's what they want. So I'm not gonna give them that satisfaction.
It's a sneaky link. It was sneaky link, wasn't it?
Bro, I don't want those problems. Stop. I don't want those problems. I don't want those problems. I don't want those problems.
Shout to my girls, Elena, Henny, Janelle.
Yeah, shout out to all of them. As they come and hop on the show, I definitely, yeah.
Please, they're taking the game. I say, yo, I love them. I love all three of them, man. I can't wait to meet them.
Absolutely, man.
All right, good.
I like to see what they're doing.
For real. Love them.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna be definitely reaching out to them too as well. I actually want to get them on for an individual show. Let them talk their stuff, tell their story. But yeah, Kyrie, we appreciate you hopping on for the 50th episode. Man, we got to give you your flowers, man, because you were the first guest. You started something. You definitely put a flame under us, and we never let it. We built on top of that.
Yeah.
After that was guest after guest after guest. And we still do that to this very day.
We were supposed to do one guest every 5 episodes.
Yeah, but
was that what we said?
Y'all had waited.
Yeah,
we had the people reaching out and moving and grooving. I mean, I was like, hop on.
Yeah. So
that's community. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy if I played any small part, man.
Yeah.
Big part. Nah, man, don't
Thank
downplay
you.
it. Big part.
Thanks for making us leaders in the community, man. We are the we're the leaders.
As leaders,
We're the leaders.
The leaders in the sneaker podcast space.
Yeah.
Check out analytics. And it didn't take no. I see.
Hey, look, all I'm gonna say, we talking about analytics.
I was gonna throw a heavy shot.
Look,
Do that.
hey, McDonald sells the most hamburgers, bro. They're not making the best hamburgers.
I like that.
That's
I like
a bar.
that. I like that.
That's a bar.
I like that.
We
Any
put
closing,
that.
any closing remarks? You know what? That might be the title of the episode.
Yeah.
I like
We
that.
making burgers, good ones.
Making-
But it's good ones, good ones to that. But any closing remarks? Look at Morgan's face. Any closing remarks, guys?
Hey James, if James hears this, man, I don't hate you. So I don't know. I lost the raffle today for the Uptowns. I actually tried to get them, but it's not. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, these are like really my closing remarks, man. Like 2024, the year is closing out. It's been a hell of a year for me. Those who know I lost my mom earlier this year. And one thing that I've learned, even on the other side of that is, I'm trying my best. And I actually put a tweet out about this today. I'm not out here for no petty beefs. Now, if it's real smoke, and we got to stand 10 toes on it, we're going to stand on that. But I would like to see, to y'all's point, more of these things patched up. And for us that's how we really move forward. We don't move forward in drama and arguing and pettiness. We move forward really trying to band together and really, putting our resources together to make some really cool shit happen. I hope more of that happens as we close out the year, we go into that's what I got.
Yep. And I'm gonna make sure I'm keep moving how I've always moved. If I have a problem with someone, I reach out to them. I hate for people to speak for me. So that's why I reach out myself. Morgan, he's gonna definitely speak for himself. We all know that.
Yeah, I'm gonna speak out for myself because look, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. We all out here trying to do our best. If you got something to say especially if you got something to say about me online, tag me in it, man, and then we can talk about it. I've got more respect if you come straight to me, rather than just going in the comments and taking little subtle shots, right?
Yeah,
I like saying names. I like saying names whenever I can. So
Morgan, you talking like you pushing rims, man. What rims you pushing? What rims you pushing? I did
have to get a new. I did have to buy a new car. So I do have a new Kia Soul out in the driveway. So.
My man talking crazy. I got the Kia Soul. Hey,
I got a look. You don't want to see that Kia Soul creeping down your block. Yeah, you don't want to see that Kia Soul creeping down your block, bro.
You don't want to hear that smooth sounding Kia Soul.
Hey, I'm sitting on 15s. If you know.
No.
Going in the blink of an eye, just like that.
Yeah.
That more. Oh my God. With that being said, guys, again, Kyrie, appreciate you hopping on, man. Much love to you. Shout out to everyone that comes in and engage and shows us love. 50th episode. We just hit 2,500 downloads, almost 10,000 plays. So
dang,
congratulations!
Yeah, we we're moving. We're only episode 50.
Dang, 2,505 in a year, 50 episodes.
Yeah.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, we ain't had a year anniversary.
It's not even been a year yet.
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, we're not worth listening to. Whatever. We're not worth listening to. Somebody who I never heard of. Somebody who I never heard of said that.
Hey, look, love, peace, and sneakers.
So, brothers. So, brothers. Retro 7, retro 3s, Metallic 7, retro 11, sitting on freeze. They got so